April 6th, 1966. Westall High School, Melbourne, Australia. The morning sun bathed Westall High in golden light as students hurried to class, their laughter mingling with the chatter of friends. The day began ordinarily, with chalk scratching blackboards and the hum of adolescent voices. But by 11 a.m., everything changed. "Look, up there!" a boy shouted, pointing to the sky. A silver, saucer-shaped object, no larger than a car, hovered silently above Grange Reserve. As students in classrooms heard the commotion and began heading toward the doors, a teacher called out, "Wait, it's not recess yet." Terrified and awestruck, the students watched a classic saucer-shaped UFO fly across the sky. One of the teachers, Terry Peck, pulled out her camera, rolled the film, and started clicking. Hovering silently about 150 meters above Grange Reserve was a silver-grey, saucer-shaped object, roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Its surface appeared seamless, no visible rivets, windows, or markings. Witnesses described it as dull metal, but glowing faintly, as if lit from within by a cold, purplish haze. Its surface shimmered unnaturally, reflecting no discernible light source. Science teacher Andrew Greenwood, mid-cigarette outside the staff room, froze. It defied physics, he later recounted. No sound, no propulsion, just stillness. The UFO settled briefly in the paddock, flattening the grass in a perfect 30-foot wide circle. Dozens of students clambered onto fences, their curiosity overriding fear. Among them was 14-year-old Joy Clark, who later described the UFO as cold and alive at the same time. Moments later, the object shot upward at impossible speed, pursued by 5 Cessna aircraft, later confirmed by aviation experts to be military trainers. As the UFO vanished, the playground erupted into chaos. Younger students screamed or cried, while older ones debated what they'd seen. "Some kids swore it was a secret NASA craft," said Terry Peck. Others said aliens. "I just felt cold, like the air dropped 10 degrees when it showed up." Shane Ryan noticed odd details. Birds had gone silent, and the pine trees near the paddock swayed violently, though there was no wind. The grass where it landed looked burnt, he said. Not like fire, more like someone had pressed a giant hot iron into it. Andrew Greenwood, trained in physics, struggled to rationalize what he'd seen. He attempted to calm students, but the mood had shifted. They were terrified, he recalled. One girl vomited. A boy kept repeating, "They're coming back, they're coming back." By the time the bell rang to end recess, rumors had spread to every classroom. Students scribbled notes and sketches, comparing details. The UFO's underside had a raised domed section resembling a cockpit. Though no occupants were visible, a faint, high-pitched whine was heard by some as it ascended. The flattened grass in the paddock bore geometric patterns, like intersecting triangles. But the opportunity to document the scene vanished quickly. Within minutes, unmarked trucks rolled onto school grounds. Men in crisp uniforms and plain clothes swarmed the campus, their voices sharp with authority. "Back to class, now!" they barked. Students were herded indoors, but not before soldiers confiscated a Kodak camera from Terry Peck. "They tore out the film," Terry recalled. In the principal's office, teachers were instructed to dismiss the event as a weather balloon drill. Andrew Greenwood refused. "I saw what I saw," he told the Dandenong Journal days later. He was fired shortly after for undermining school protocol. At lunch, Joy Clark and two friends slipped through a gap in the fence to investigate the paddock. What they found unsettled them. 3 concentric circles of flattened, scorched grass, the soil beneath radiating heat. She spotted something glinting in the scorched circle, a shard of metallic debris, no larger than a coin. "I reached down to grab it," she confessed decades later. "But it burned my fingers. Not like fire, like electricity." The blisters on her hand lasted for weeks. She never retrieved the fragment. Moments later, a teacher yanked her away, hissing, "Don't you dare speak of this." Nearby, a towering pine tree stood lifeless, its needles browned overnight. Groundskeeper Arthur McHugh, tasked with ploughing the site the next morning, witnessed men in hazmat suits spraying the soil with an unknown chemical. "They loaded trucks with dirt," he told his son, "like they were hauling away poison." That evening, 2 men in dark suits appeared at Joy's doorstep. "They knew my name," she said. "Told my parents I'd regret speaking out." Joy vanished from school for weeks. Rumors swirled, radiation burns, a secret hospital stay. When she returned, she was hollow-eyed and silent. The students' initial awe and fear soon gave way to dread as military intimidation and bureaucratic gaslighting began. Yet for those 10 surreal minutes on April 6, 1966, Westall High's playground became a portal to the inexplicable. A moment when the ordinary world cracked open, revealing something far stranger lurking just beyond. By the 2000s, the incident had faded into local lore, until a documentary crew unearthed disturbing patterns. Over 60 witnesses, including Joy, had died prematurely, many from rare cancers. Joy succumbed to leukemia in 2008. Her journal, detailing the encounter, disappeared after her death. A retired Air Force pilot, speaking anonymously in 2010, admitted the Cessnas were part of a classified operation. "They were tracking something," he said, "but it wasn't ours, and it wasn't from here." Today, the paddock lies barren, its soil still sterile. No plaque marks the site. School records from 1966 are missing. At a recent reunion, elderly survivors gathered under the wary gaze of lingering pine trees. "They threatened us good," Terry Peck muttered. "But I'll take the truth to my grave. It was real." Today, as twilight descends on Grange Reserve, the air still hums faintly, a metallic tang lingering where the craft once landed. Former students avoid the field, yet some swear they've seen shadows flit between the pines. Men in suits, watching. The Westall incident endures as a mosaic of fear, defiance, and unanswered questions. What descended that day? Why the haste to erase it? And why, decades later, does the Australian sky still feel watched? The Australian government maintains its stance. A weather balloon, mass hysteria. Yet declassified documents hint at darker truths, blacked out paragraphs, redacted names. Researchers note eerie parallels to other global UFO cases. Sudden military responses, scorched earth, witnesses silenced. it wasn't just what we saw. It was how it felt. Like the air got heavier. Like something was watching us back. Terry Peck. The teachers were more scared than we were. That's what freaked me out. Shane Ryan. I've never told anyone this, but when it hovered, I swear it tilted toward us. Like it was curious. Joy Clark. If you love these UFO cases, check out Kentucky Goblins, Part 1 and Part 2.